Sometimes there is something, something about good, delicious hot coffee. So I am back at the house, and needless to say, I guess I'm disappointed in the X07. Now, there is actually a vehicle that I had wanted to get, and it was the DB X07, but that's a totally different RC. But anyways, this thing kind of reminded me of, like, you know, styling of like a Traxxas Revo. Has that kind of look to it. When I did originally open the box, it's done. When I did originally open up the box, like, I mean, the unboxing never happened. And I kind of, at this point in time, I'm kind of glad that the unboxing never happened, because I am unimpressed right now. Because if my suspicion is correct, and this is what I'm going to go on, it's almost as if, and it shouldn't be a plastic motor plate. When you're dealing with brushless, it should not be a plastic motor plate. And I did come across one other manufacturer that had a plastic motor plate, and it was a brushless system, and this exact same thing happened. So, yeah. I can't remember what RC car it was, though. Isn't that the funny thing? I can't remember what RC car it was, but the motor mount was plastic, and that was the issue. The heat buildup. Yeah. You know what? We're going to go back out to the mobile shop. I know eventually my wife is going to kick me out of the mobile shop, but it's just a different experience working inside the mobile shop or the trailer. So I'm going to grab my coffee, go head out to the mobile shop with that RC car. It's actually out there right now. I just came in to grab myself a coffee and let out the dogs. But yeah, it's a different experience out in the trailer. It's just clean and cool. My wife is going to absolutely kill me. I'm telling you, guys, she's going to kill me. So I'm trying to keep it nice and clean in there. I decided not to, because, I mean, she was, you know, kind of getting aggravated that I was, you know, working on the bench. I almost called this a bench. She was kind of getting aggravated because this is what she explained to me, is this is her work surface. And I get it. And that's the thing about, you know, having a significant other, is that when you have a significant other, it is definitely 100%, you are better off listening to that significant other and taking, you know, whatever that person says into account. It goes both ways in a relationship, man. So just make sure, if you're the guy, listen to your girl, man. All right, so I'm going to grab this coffee. We're going to go out to the trailer and pull this Hosim X07 apart and find out if my suspicion is correct. The motor mount better not be plastic, man, because that's obviously what happened, is that both motor mount screws must have fallen out and got wedged somewhere in the spur and kind of whatever's in there. Even the pitch of the motor is at a weird pitch. Hopefully this camera will be able to show you what I'm talking about. So let's head out to the mobile work. What did I call that? The mobile workshop? Let's go check it out. And here we are. I've actually noticed, you see the rays? See, like right there, there's two rays? It's because my my lens is really mangled. So we are in the trailer. This is called Trailer Sods or something like that. I haven't even figured it out. It's actually nice being in here. I'm going to open up a couple of windows just to get the air flowing in here. But it's a nice feeling. It's something that my wife and I very much enjoyed, going camping in this trailer. We did it for a number of years, and then we took a big long break as far as the trailer is concerned. But right now, it's the mobile shop. It's the cleanest area I've got right now. Shh, don't tell my wife. She's eventually going to come out here and kill me. That's why I'm keeping things like nice and clean up after myself every single time, just like I do inside. But so this is going to kind of be a, this is part 2. This is going to kind of be a semi-unboxed kind of deal, showing you the after fact, kind of like what's in the box kind of thing. So yeah, let's just get into it. The Hosim X07 is what it was called. It's not what it was called, it is what it is called. On the side of the car, it's super power. You can see it's a very good size RC vehicle. This is a DRC 1/16th scale RC, so you can see as far as the size comparison, massive size comparison. And then when you take the mini Kraton from Merlarlo, you could see the size difference between that and that. So it is a fairly significant size kind of like change. But there were a couple of things that right off that I didn't like when I first opened this truck up. Now, number one, we'll go on a positive thing. So number one, does come with two bodies. So if you don't like the blue, you can go ahead and throw on the red. So it did come with two bodies. That was a positive. It is a very elongated vehicle. I did notice right off that it had a brushless motor with a heatsink. I thought that was pretty cool. But the thing that stood out the most was this was the biggest battery pack so far that I have seen come in one of these style of vehicles. This is only a 2S pack. It's a 25C, 5200, and it's a Hosim pack. At least it's branded or labeled with their little sticker on here. And I thought this actually was shocking. The next thing I had noticed was it had metal components. It's aluminum, so it's cast aluminum, so it's not going to be super strong, but it's metal. I noticed that it had metal little outdrive or input shafts. I noticed that it had even the hubs. The hubs were metal. It had bearings. It had steel shafts. It had steel metal outdrives, which, you know, gave me the impression that the internals were metal as well. And then when I saw this is obviously the ESC. It's got a little motor fan. It's got a little fan on it, not a motor fan. It's got a fan on it. It's got a little capacitor over here. But I noticed that the motor was at an odd angle. Now, it could be just the way it's supposed to be as far as design, but I noticed that it was angled. It just kind of looked funny. And then I also noticed, at least I think, that this is plastic. Now, I'm hoping there's metal behind here, but this is where it kind of gets a little interesting, is that not knowing what's actually attaching this little brushless motor here. And I felt that this motor, just by looking at its size, was too small. Now, I don't have the brushless buggy out here. I wish I did. But, you know what? This buggy is brushless, but I think this thing is even smaller. Yeah. And this looks very reminiscent of what's inside the brushless Merlarlo. Looks like it's the same size motor. Looks like it's about the same size ESC with a little fan on it. Little things that I kind of didn't like was, you can see this has a zip tie holding this down. It's really holding the ESC down, but what I don't like is it's coming across the fan blades. So this has the potential of contacting the fan at some point, maybe. The fan blade is wide open, so there's nothing to protect, you know, any debris from getting in there. It was just like, there was a couple of things. Even the shocks on this thing seemed really small, but they did seem to function well. So while they seem small, that's not an indicator for something that's bad. They just seemed small, but it seemed to absorb. It seemed to do its job. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, when you press down on it, you can feel there's some good resistance. So it's got fluid in them. These are oil-filled shocks. See the rebound? So it had some positives. You can even see when I dropped it, it did compress and it raised back up. See what I'm saying? It's very slight, but it does compress and it does rebound. Big servo saver, which I thought was a positive. So that's the disappointing thing. Now, this motor right now rotates. That's not supposed to rotate, man. At least I don't think it's supposed to rotate. So we're going to go ahead and pop this off. It looks like it's 2 screws. One on the left side, one on the right. I am seeing something metal here, so we're just going to have to take this apart and just go over this thing overall and see what happens. This is part of the unboxing, or unbagging. It's kind of the unbagging right now. So this came inside the box. The box itself looked great. It was very presentable. It had 2 Hosim branded things on there. I thought it was pretty cool to protect the suspension and wheels. Inside this Ziploc bag. I know this is whatever. It seemed like they had a couple of things right. You know what I'm saying? Gave you a lipo safe bag to go ahead and charge your battery in. That, I think, is a nice little step. But Hosim's done this for quite a while. They've been providing these lipo safe bags. So it's got a thank you card. Looks like some QR codes. Customer service manager, so it looks like you can contact them. It has a activate your 1-year Hosim care protection plan. So I guess you scan that code and yeah, I don't know. Just stuff that I don't feel like reading. Here's another thank you card. We appreciate your purchase from Hosim. Came with a charger that's a balance port USB style charger, which is fine. It's just going to take you 6 years to charge. It did come with, looks like two Phillips screwdrivers. Came with an instruction manual, which looks like it's available in multiple languages. I just want to get to the parts section. So, parts. No parts. Well, that's kind of weird. So it's just an instruction manual, but no parts manual. So that doesn't leave a good taste in your mouth. What happens if this thing breaks? There's no parts for it? All right, that's a little odd. So for the first time for one of these little small RCs, well, this one's actually bigger. There's no parts manual. Not even an exploded view. Just double check, make sure I didn't miss, like, sometimes it's a back page. Yeah, nothing. There's no manual. It's just an instruction manual. So that's a waste of time. But they do give you some tools here. Let's see what we got for tools. So it looks like they give you some wheel pins. So they're expecting those to break. It's giving you some wheel nuts, which I definitely need. For some other RC cars, they are non-serrated style, but they are a nylock. I like the serrated nylocks. It does give you 4 extra body pins, a metal wrench, and then, like I said, they give you 2 size Phillips screwdrivers. So we're going to go ahead and use these Phillips screwdrivers to pull this thing apart. They did give you 4 wheel pins. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this little motor cover off. And like I said, I'm using their tools. Let's see what we're looking at here. It's 3 screws. There's one hidden. Right there. See that? The side view, I think, is better anyway. Actually use my tape. So 3 screws, 2 on the side, 1 on the back. So it is a metal motor plate. Okay, so that's a good sign. So it did have a metal motor plate. And obviously what happened, look at all the gears in there. So obviously what happened, oh, wait a minute. What the heck? Oh, wow. Yeah, that's no good, man. Motor screws did not come loose. The actual can failed. Look at it, it's rotating. Yeah, that's no good. Look at that. It came unscrewed. That's what happened, dude. Look at that. So that unscrews. It came unscrewed. But that's still not making sense, though. That still shouldn't have changed. Huh. All right. I'm going to put this back together. 3,800 kV motor. I'll line the motor shaft to the rear bearing so it slides in. There we go. Wow, so this actually came unscrewed. Wow. All right, so that means my fingers are all greasy here, so I'm going to have to put some like thread lock or something on there. It actually came unscrewed. That's funny. All right, so now that I've got the motor out, let's check out the gears. Because it gave me the impression that... it actually gave me the impression that something... Oops. It gave me the impression that something... like, I see what I thought was I thought a motor screw came unloose and then jammed. It's all metal gears, though. So that's a little bit of a positive. The gears seem very smooth. Wow. The outdrive cup is a little bent. That might be just the way it is, but everything is smooth now. But the motor's locked up. Wait a minute. The motor's actually locked up. I wonder if the pinion... The motor's actually locked up. Look at that. Huh, what the heck is going on here? The motor is actually locked up. Interesting. The bearing inside actually seems like it's fine. Why did this lock up? It almost looks like... It almost looks like one of the magnets came free or something. See, that rotor is very, very... That's what I think happened. Look at that. The rotor came apart. The glue or something. Look at that. See the scraping? I think the glue they used. This must have got too hot. So the glue that they used for the magnets. Look at that. Yeah, so the motor failed. I want to pop this apart here. They don't give you any tools that you need to go ahead and diagnose or get this deep into it. So I'm going to grab just a couple of my, regular tools, and we're going to go ahead and check this thing out and see exactly what's going on here. But yeah, I want to get this little motor plate off. They do give you the tools to take that off, but you're going to need to take the pinion off, and you need a Allen wrench to get that off, or a hex driver. So something happened with this rotor. What a bummer, man. So there is an access point right there to go ahead. I hope I don't need heat. It is just a 1.5. Let's see. Ah, look at that. Cool. And that almost seems like it's glued on. Well, that little gear is on there. Huh. That gear is on there. That screw is basically all the way out. Yeah, look at it. That set screw is all the way out. And that gear is in there. So let's see if I can just use this to pry it up. Ah, there we go. Jeez. So it does have some shims, so be careful with those. But from what I'm seeing, battery died. I knew that was going to happen though. So where are we? We are at the point of where what I do believe has happened is that the glue let go on the rotor. So you can see, I think you can see how off it is. So the glue let go. The epoxy they used for this actually let go. So, so you don't want to lose these little pieces, because those are the spacers. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot that back in there. Either way, that's what happened. Pretty easy to figure that out. So it's not the windings, it's literally the rotor itself became delaminated from the heat. And you could see the rub marks. You can clearly see the rub marks on it. So this does not get a pass, man. As it is right now, it doesn't get a pass. That's crazy because it's got some good things going for it. Now, is that going to happen with every single one? I wouldn't think it would, but just for, I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna do the screen record stuff. Screen record, skip countdown. So you can see now there's two pictures, right? It's got me and you got me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go on Hosim right now, seeing that there's no manual, man. So there's no like part numbers. There's no nothing. So you know what I should do? I should call them. You know what? I should call them. There was a phone number, right? Yeah. This card right here, it's got a phone number on it. So I'm going to go ahead and give them a call. Uh, 10. Time is it? 11. Yeah, I don't know if they're open right now. Send activation email to Hosim support. I'm just going to U.S. Customer Service Manager. I'm going to go ahead and just call that number right now. So let's see. We got 989-430-5314 and send.
Thank you for calling Hosim Company. Currently, we are not able to answer your call. If there is any issues with your product or order, please send an email to support@hosim.com. Someone will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
At At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may...
All right, so you actually, there is a phone number. So there's an actual active phone number for Hosim. So what I'm going to do is I am going to reach out to the contact that sent me this car and see what's going on. Because number one, not having a parts manual inside this thing, like, there's no parts manual. There's definitely no parts manual. So let's go on the Hosim website right now. And let's see what happens. So Hosim. Hosim, right? Yeah, Hosim.com. .com. See what happens. Alright, so Hosim.com. That's the car right there. Long warranty policy. Stop trying to sell me stuff. Fast free shipping. This is called the... So this is a brushless motor series. And it's that... Whoa! This car is $200. I don't know if I agree with that. We're going to click on the blue, even though the blue and the red, it's the same exact thing. Just going to click on it. You can get 20% off. Oh, no, that is 20% off. Ask us anything. Available 24/7. There's an Ask Us 24/7. Ask an expert. I'm just trying to see if there's like there's a parts manual here. Return, refund, warranty, parts finder, parts for Hosim X07. So it looks like there are parts, but there's no manual. So just out of curiosity, I mean, this would have to be a warranty, but wow, they sell the whole gearbox. It is metal differentials. So it's a metal pinion gear and a metal ring gear. Okay. Where's the motor? Oh, looks like we might be getting close. ESC. Let's see what ESC this is. So this ESC is a $30 ESC. Doesn't give any specs. There's no specs for the ESC. Motor. Just calls it a high-speed motor. So the motor's $30, man. That would definitely have to be a warranty, I'd say. But can you trust that motor? Given that that was the one that I was given. This is a 3800 kV motor. Given that that was the one that I was given, I just got to say you can't trust it. There's 8 in stock. All right, well, I guess that's where this ends. What ended up happening, obviously, is we discovered that it was the failure point was the motor. This is a cool looking motor. The bearing just came out. That's a good sign. Actually is. Bearing feels fine. The rotor failed. So that was the issue with this yeah, that's the issue with this motor. The actual rotor failed. It got too hot. And that was something that I was thinking to myself, because I'm looking at that little motor, thinking about that little ESC pushing a much bigger vehicle. I really do believe this is if not the same exact motor, it's a very similar motor that's available in the Relarlo. And the Relarlo is a 1/14 scale, not a 1/10 scale like this thing. This thing, I want to say the motor is too small to push and pull this RC car. It's got some positives. But with a motor that's going to fail, how's that really a positive? So anyways, this is RC Guy Garage, and that's where this part 2 on the Hosim is going to end for now. I am going to reach out to my contact. I'm going to say, hey, your motor failed. The rotor got too hot, or the motor got too hot after 10 minutes of use, and the actual magnets started delaminating from the actual rotor itself. So, yeah, this is a good thing, man. This is a good thing, because this at least shows you that, you know, looks can be deceiving. You think you're getting like brushless power and all this other stuff. Think about what happened to that other car. That other car actually has a brushless motor in it. If the wiring survived, which I believe it did, I think I'm going to take the motor out of this and put it in that. Keep an eye out for other videos. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you know what to do. If you want to go ahead and give this a thumbs up, I think the whole point about, you know, me reviewing some of these smaller, lesser expensive, non-hobby grade RCs, I don't like the fact that it doesn't have an exploded view manual. That's not cool, because whatever the ages on this box are. So the ages on this box, I think this is a 14 plus ages. So the individual getting this car, they would have to have a working knowledge of how to take stuff apart. There's no instruction manual to be able to show exploded view, and I feel that's where this company is lacking on this manual. I mean, I should go through it page by page, but there is no exploded view at all. It's in 1,000 different languages, but that's it. But dude, there's no exploded view. So Hosim, you guys did this product wrong by not providing an exploded view. So like I said, this is just part of that small scale series of RC cars that I am going to review. And hopefully you did enjoy the fact that, you know, I at least took the time. And right now, I mean, at least with mine, you can't trust it, man. Because I believe that the motor is possibly too small and that this thing did overheat. I just must not have gotten to it in time to check. I mean, it did have some heat, man. Something must have happened inside the motor there. It is, wow, that's actually scorching now. Something's bound up. It did have some heat. Maybe my fingers aren't as good at sensory input as they used to be. So maybe it was too early in the morning, I don't know. So I'm out ripping it up. I'm out working on stuff. What are you doing today?